A government scientist with top secret clearances just offered to expose decades of alien crash retrieval programs, and all it takes is one signature from President Trump. Today we're connecting three major developments that prove the gap between what officials tell the public and what they know privately has never been wider. Dr. Eric Davis, an astrophysicist, has worked on classified government UFO programs, just stated on camera that he is ready to reveal everything he knows about crash retrievals and reverse engineering operations, with only a presidential signature standing in his way. At the same time, coordinated drone swarms are targeting NATO military bases across Europe, with Belgium Defense Minister Theo Franken confirming these are precision operations with state-level technology targeting nuclear weapons facilities. And Dr. James Lacatski, who managed the Pentagon's $22 million UAP investigation program, told 8 News Now that the government has recovered craft with no wings, no engine, and no fuel tank. Now, what connects these stories? Someone is surveilling our most sensitive installations with technology we cannot stop. And government insiders are finally ready to talk about it. As always, I'm here to report the information without bias, and you can decide what to believe. You can find the sources in my detailed articles at ufonews.co, along with in the description box below. Hey ufologers, I'm Cristina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of UFO News Updates. Filmmaker James Fox recently sat down with Ross Coulthard on News Nation's Reality Check to discuss his investigation on the 1996 Varginha, Brazil incident, where multiple witnesses reported seeing a crashed craft and living alien beings. Now, Fox obtained testimony from Dr. Italo Venturelli, the lead neurosurgeon who claims he spent 4 minutes face-to-face with a living extraterrestrial being before multiple military personnel removed it and threatened hospital staff to silence. Now, this doctor is willing to take a lie detector test and testify under oath. But what Dr. Eric Davis revealed during that same interview may be even more explosive.
If the President of the United States issued an executive order that absolves me of all of my TSSCI NDAs, NDAs are non-disclosure agreements. Those are the agreements we have to sign for every compartment in our SCI clearances. So if the President waives or absolves my obligation to those NDAs, and I get subpoenaed by Congress, somebody on Capitol Hill, some committee, either in the Senate or the House or the both, to reveal everything I know that I learned from my investigations, both unclassified and classified, into the legacy UAP, crash retrieval, and hardware reverse engineering and NHI programs, I would do so. If I could be waived from that or absolved in some fashion by presidential order, and if Congress subpoenas me, yes, I would go and tell them everything I know.
Dr. Eric Davis is an astrophysicist who worked exclusively with government-funded programs investigating UAP, particularly in classified investigations into legacy UAP crash retrieval programs and testifying before Congress committees in closed classified sessions on projects funded by the Defense Intelligence Agency. Davis holds a TSSCI clearance, which stands for the Top Secret Sensitive Compartmented Information, among the highest level security clearance in the U.S. government. Dr. Davis is stating clearly that he has classified knowledge about crash retrieval programs, reverse engineering of recovered technology, and programs dealing with non-human intelligences, and he's willing to testify publicly about everything he knows, with the only thing stopping him being the NDAs he signed as a condition of his security clearances. President Trump has the constitutional authority as commander-in-chief to declassify information and void non-disclosure agreements with a simple executive order. And Vice President J.D. Vance recently indicated in an interview with Pod Force One that the administration has been focused on other priorities but remains interested in the UAP issue. Ross Coulthard asked James Fox directly about this during their interview, with Fox explaining that he has been asking witnesses with high-level clearances if they would testify under oath to a bipartisan group of lawmakers if the president gave them immunity. And the same answer keeps coming back.
You've got someone with all these clearances and you sign NDAs. How do we circumvent that? So I've been asking a lot of people like Eric Davis, would you be willing, provided under the right circumstances, we make a plea to President Trump, whoever the president is, the president of the United States, wave the magic wand, provide immunity, which they can do immediately. Would you testify under oath to a bipartisan group of lawmakers and give the details needed to verify the claims? And they're all saying yes.
We're not talking about anonymous sources making vague claims. We're talking about named government scientists and military personnel saying on camera that they possess classified evidence about alien technology and non-human intelligence programs, willing to provide specifics, names, locations, and documentation, with the only barrier being legal authorization. Congress has attempted to pass UAP disclosure legislation multiple times, with the most recent version introduced by Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Mike Rounds that would have created a review board similar to the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act to compel disclosure and protect whistleblowers. But that legislation was stripped from the National Defense Authorization Act after intense lobbying from defense contractors and intelligence agencies. Presidential action could bypass Congress entirely, as one executive order could release dozens, possibly hundreds of witnesses from their security oaths and finally provide answers to questions that have been asked for decades about what the government has recovered, where it's been stored, and what has been learned from studying it. And of course, who knows about it? But stay with us because there's still so much to the story of surveillance and security. Dr. Eric Davis is not the only government insider breaking his silence. Dr. James Lacatski, who designed and managed ATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, recently went on record with investigative journalist George Knapp at 8 News Now in Las Vegas. Now, ATIP was a $22 million Defense Intelligence Agency program that ran from 2007 to 2012. It was the largest acknowledged UFO investigation ever funded by the U.S. government.
How do you know it's a craft if it has no fuel tank, you didn't actually see it fly, or, I mean, are you convinced it is some sort of a craft, a machine?
Yes. And by the way, Senator Reid asked the same question.
The program produced 115 thick technical documents and created what Lacatski described as the world's largest UAP database. 14 years after ATIP officially ended, the Defense Intelligence Agency has yet to release any of the original material to the public. But Lacatski is now releasing information himself through his recent book. Now, you might ask, is this all to promote his book, or does he really want to get the truth out there? Well, that's for you to decide. But here is something very important to understand. People in his position, and those like Lou Elizondo, Nick Pope, and Jay Stratton, because they held clearances, all their books, both fiction and nonfiction, have to go through DOPSR, which stands for the Defense Office of Prepublication and Security Review. This office makes sure that no classified information is leaked, meaning anything in their books cannot violate their NDAs. So whatever Lacatski is revealing has already been cleared by the government. That's just some food for thought. Former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid told Knapp before his death that he believed the U.S. is in a race with Russia and China to understand and replicate UAP technology. Reid said we better win it. That suggests these programs exist not just to study the phenomena, but to develop new capabilities based on recovered technology. Which brings us to what is happening right now across Europe.
I just want to bring you some breaking news coming into us here at Sky News, and that is that Brussels airport has been closed after reported drone sightings. That's according to Belgium Air Traffic Control this evening. It's been closed, as I say, due to that drone sighting. We may remember particularly Copenhagen Airport was closed several times over the last couple of months due to drone sightings, though no quite sense where these drones have come from. But as I say, the airport in Brussels, a pretty major European airport, is closed tonight. No planes are either taking off or landing. That will bring pretty substantial travel chaos to that part of the world. And we'll bring you more on that story, of course, as we get it here on Sky News throughout the evening.
Belgian Defense Minister Theo Franken stated publicly that these are not amateur operations. The drones fly in coordinated formations during the darkest hours of the night, and they target specific military infrastructure with precision. Belgian security services believe the evidence points towards a state actor, most likely Russia, conducting intelligence gathering operations. Denmark's prime minister said similar things, but just to be clear, even with the drone interception technology and Germany's go-ahead to shoot down these objects in the sky, none have been collected, and no definitive answers have been given to the public.
Now, a string of mysterious drone sightings across Europe continues. Police in Belgium are investigating drone sightings of a military air base on the weekend. According to Belgian Defense Minister's office, the government received reports last Saturday of drones flying over the air base in northeast Belgium. Authorities deployed a helicopter and police vehicles in pursuit, but the drones could not be captured, and a drone jammer also failed to intercept them.
We've seen this all across the world. Despite multiple congressional hearings featuring credible witnesses like former intelligence officer David Grush, who testified under oath that the U.S. government possesses intact and partially intact craft of non-human origin and provided specific names of programs and officials in classified briefings, nothing has been officially released to the public due to institutional resistance from defense contractors who allegedly hold recovered materials, intelligence agencies that fear exposure about decades of secrecy, military officials worried about revealing capabilities to adversaries, and some who believe the public is not ready for this information. President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Intelligence Director Gabbard have all expressed interest in the UAP topic. Should President Trump issue an executive order releasing witnesses like Dr. Davis and Dr. Lacatski from their security oaths? Would you even believe their testimony? Or do you think there are legitimate national security reasons to keep this information classified? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Cristina Gomez, and that is it for today. I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST for another UFO news update. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the notification bell as I do daily UFO news and updates. Fresh UAP stories, government disclosures, and breaking developments land here every single day.